East Big Monday at the Carrier Dome. That's Brian Fair, who was not fair. He was not average. He was outstanding in the first half, burning the Syracuse 2-3 zone defense with threes from every angle. Orange only down 5 at the break. Then Lazar Sims to John Wallace for the dunk. Second half, the Orange crush at work. Autry, the alley-oop. Conrad McRae, Mr. Human Dunk. Syracuse up 5, but UConn comes back. Donyell Marshall inside with the facial. Then Burrell outside. Scott steps up and hits a 3. The Orange rally, down 74-70. Burrell, the pass off the full court pressure, intercepted by Adrian Autry. Gets it to Mike Hopkins, the senior from California, hits a 3, and it's a 1-point game, but the Huskies answer back. Marshall, nobody checked him inside. Hopkins actually got a piece of that also on the way in. And UConn goes into the Dome and wins on its first of the annual trip to Syracuse. Golden Griffs come down from Buffalo, and what a start. John Beilein's team gets a Craig Wise layup, and they score the first 8 of the game. The other coach, Perry Clark, was concerned, got his team going. G.J. Hunter to Laveldro Simmons, who throws it down. 2 of his 11. Then the waves of defense start. Pointer Williams will get it back to G.J. Hunter for the layup. Tulane puts on the defensive clamps and wins 63-41. Nice story. Carlin Hartman, who's from Buffalo, where Canisius is. Hartman had 15 points in this game to lead all the scores. Louisiana Tech, Gerald Williams the miss, but Irvin Johnson, 14 points, 11 boards for UNO. And Coach Tim Floyd, who asked Melvin Simon to pick up the process a little bit. And he follows what Johnson did earlier. The follow slam. Simon had 19, stifling defense to the story. Louisiana Tech was held to 13 in the first half. Then on the break, Rainey Mason, the dish to Williams, the nice move to the basket. And Gerald Williams closes it out. Louisiana Tech had 1 field goal in the final 11 minutes.
In the first half we go, and one of the better names, not a bad player either, GW's Yinka Dalre with 2 of his 13. Second half, Michael Hodges off the bench. Gets the roll and the foul, 2 of his 16. Colonials will come back on Richmond. Dick Searles a factor in this game. The baseline J to tie, send it into overtime. Coach Jarvis preparing for the extra period. Holy Moses, it's Omo Moses driving the lane, and it's Sonny Holland following for the dramatic victory. Holland finishing with 19 to give GW the win. Dirk with 2 Ks. Searles scored 21.
To Pittsburgh for the highlights, dominated by BC. Kevin Rabowski with a drive of the lane. BC scored 17 of 19 in the second half to win easily. But the real story, Paul Evans upset at Coach Jim O'Brien for running a 4-corner offense up 25 points.
We're good old Boston College when we're in last place and everybody's kicking our asses and there's no problem. But as soon as we get an opportunity to become a little bit better, nobody likes it when we win.
I said I don't think he should be in a 4-corner offense with 25-point lead with your starters in.
Is the starters a key part of that statement? I mean,
well, I still think the 4 corners even. You just don't do that.
We've gotten our asses kicked in this league for years. And I'm not going to be the last person on earth, especially in this damn league, to apologize for winning some game. He should know better than I'm not trying to embarrass anybody.
Evans went on to say John Thompson or Luke Carnesecca wouldn't play 4 corners in that same situation as you see the score. The question, what did he want O'Brien to do? Run it up or take quick shots and give Pitt a chance to get back in? If the Corey Beck going to meet the folks at Barnhill Arena, one of the best home arenas in college basketball. Wade Houston coming in with his Tennessee team and asking Lang Wiseman to run to the stripe and knock down some threes. Wiseman was a starter, got the flu, so he's been coming off the bench the last 3 games, and he's been on fire. How about a 22-point first half for Lang Wiseman? Tennessee have 7 at the break. In the second half, freshman Corliss Williamson. He missed 2 months with a foot injury, but this freshman is very good. At a career high on the night. Razorbacks down 6, but too much of the Vols. Steve Hamer as they help break the press. And Tennessee goes into Arkansas and shocks the Hogs, winning by 10. First time in 6 years that Arkansas has lost 2 games at Barnhill in the same year. Western Kentucky, they go on a 20-0 run, and Dwayne Morton puts the Cards up 7 with 2.5 left. But Western Kentucky comes back, and Darren Horn hits a 3, and the Hilltoppers take a 1-point lead. A last chance, and they're going to go back to Dwayne Morton. Louisville down 1. Morton, I should say, beats his man baseline in for the dunk that he missed at the buzzer. And a shocker as the guys from Bowling Green. Western Kentucky, Ralph Willard's team goes into Louisville, beating the Cards by 1. First win over Louisville in 15 tries and 31 years, and only the 9th time in Denny Crum's 21 years that Louisville has lost at home in February. Tuesday night and early, the Ponies were off stride. Gerald Lewis, everything but. TCU taking advantage. Alan Tolley outside for the 3, inside for the drive, and the Horned Frogs up 3 at the break. John Shoemate's team scoring only 25 in the first half. They average 82 for the game. but they get back on track in the second half. A sweet rim shot from Lewis there. Then James Gatewood with the jam on the break. And Mike Wilson, the closeout, as SMU now up a game and a half in the SWC. John Shumate's team beating Mo Iva's team 60-53. TCU shooting just 30. Tom Davis's team, the Hawkeyes, only up one at the break. In the second half, they go on a 14-0 run. So undoubtedly, Kevin Smith's going to hit this shot. And they're going to score some more off the turnover. You are looking down at Looking Bill, Wade Looking Bill, with the steal, and he gets the hoop and the foul, and Iowa's back in the lead by one. Now on the defensive end, A.C. Earl, among the top 5 all-time in Big Ten shot blockers, stops him on one end, finishes on the other end after the nice feed from Kenyon Murray. Then Val Barnes, who had been in a shooting slump, breaks out of it with one of his 5 threes. He had 20. Earl and the Hawkeyes beat Ohio State by 14. Iowa snapping a 3-game Big Ten losing streak. Tony Turner pulls up with the baseline pop. He had 11 in the first half for the Friars. As for Miami, they failed even on the backcourt pass. Leonard Hamilton's team, which always struggles on the road, 11 first-half turnovers. Then Michael Brown, the freshman, hits 3. Providence goes on a 17-0 run, leading by 17 at the break. Second half, Dickie Simpkins treats Constantine Popa like a mannequin, goes right around him, and then Smith to the drive-through window at the bank. And Providence wins by 15. Holding Miami to 35% from the field. Boy, some ugly shooting all around Tuesday night. The conference-leading Jayhawks host Oklahoma. The Sooners without star center Brian Sallier. He has pneumonia, so they had to go outside. When you go outside for Oklahoma, that's Terry Evans, and that's a Big 8 record for career 3-pointers, breaking Steve Henson's old record. The Sooners up 4 at half, and Kansas would have to come back. Their backcourt gets hot. Adonis Jordan gets the lead for Roy Williams, or the deficit, I should say, down to 3. Just over a minute left. Steve Woodbury the drive, and the Oklahoma lead is 1. But this is a backbreaker. Another 3 for Evans. He had 6 on the game, a 4-point Sooner lead. Last chance for the Jayhawks, down 3. Woodbury misses it. Another chance? No, they throw it away. And the Sooners walk into Allen Fieldhouse and walk out with a shocking 3-point win. Oklahoma's first road win of the season, now 5-4. That's 4th in the Big 8. Second place in the conference, Illinois, and this was the Calbert Chaney show. Time to show his game from all angles outside. Another ripcord on a 3. Then on the feed from Greg Graham. Watch Chaney doing what he does so well. The quick acceleration and the quick hands for Calbert Chaney. Slashing inside, he doesn't score all the time. Denied here by Brooks Taylor, but Chris Reynolds recovers, finds Greg Graham. Indiana just dominated this game as Illinois couldn't do a thing right, turning it over frequently. Lou Henson was down double digits early in the first half, and Chaney blows by Mark Davidson for the hoop. Chaney had 29, and IU wins by 21. Indiana also shooting 56. The game in tough Happy Valley, looking to avoid a loss. Jimmy King with the outside 3. He had 8 in the first half, but John Amaechi was tough inside for Penn State. The hoop and the foul, and the Nittany Lions were within 8, but then Weber and Rose take over. How's this? That's a pretty sweet setup from Ray Jackson to Weber. Then Rose finds Jackson on the alley-oop. Michigan extending to a double-digit lead late in the second half, and the best friends, Rose and Weber, put an exclamation point, a backbreaker, if you will, on Penn State. Weber had 16 in the second half, 20 for the game, and Michigan wins by 10. A game Steve Fisher admitted he was scared to death about, but they get out of Happy Valley with the win.
Leading the Redmen to the conference lead. And on the Jersey side of the Hudson, Seton Hall has not yet fulfilled its true potential. This one at Madison Square Garden and tight. Seton Hall down 12 in the second half, but Terry DeHare, the jumping driver that goes. Seton Hall up 3 under 20 seconds to play. Derek Brown with a key 3-pointer to tie the game and send it into overtime in the OT. They want to get the ball to DeHare. He was red hot driving the lane, and he gets the ball to go, and he is fouled. 43 points in the game. He hits the 3-pointer. In fact, 3 3-pointers in overtime to give Seton Hall the rallying victory. DeHare becomes the Big East Conference's all-time 3-point leader. Jamal Mashburn overpowering South Carolina. Kentucky held the rebound advantage, 49-38. Mashburn getting the rebound and going back for 2 more. And big night for freshman Tony Delk, a career-high 18, the top scorer in Tennessee high school basketball the last 2 years, had his shooting touch. Mashburn, 14 points, 13 rebounds. Kentucky wins despite shooting below 50%. Kentucky's bench outscoring Clemson at Dean's Place. First half, and Hendrick Ronald to Brian Reese out of the Bronx, averaging 10 points a game, had 14 in the first half. The Heels up 10. Second half, George Lynch to Derek Phelps, who makes a circus-like move and gets it to go. A 13-point lead. And then Chris Whitney leading the Clemson comeback, nailing the three-pointer. Here's another one. He had 24 points in the game. He took just one two-point shot and missed that, but was 8 of 10 from three-point range. The lead down to 5. So North Carolina goes to the four corners, and then Phelps finishes with 12 points. Tar Heels scored 10 of the game's last 12 and go on to win it. Montrose had 22. First half, Kevin Thompson underneath for the one-handed jam on Les Robinson, dressing only 8 players because of injury and suspension, and Florida State can relate to that. Sam Cassell with a steal, and Charlie Ward back in the lineup lays it in. Florida State up 8 in the second half, but Curtis Marshall with the three-pointer gets his team back in it. He scored 22, and Pat Kennedy can't believe that the lead he had was dwindling away until the Seminoles answer again with Cassell driving. He scored 18. Rodney Dobar picking up the loose ball, also scoring 18. The Seminoles hold off a late Wolfpack run at the free throw line, actually, and go on to win it in a tight one. Basketball's well-rounded scoring sensations. Rodney Rogers ready to light it up in this game on the other end of the alley-oop. He scored 28 points. Maryland tried the triple team on him defensively, but that allowed Derek Hicks to get loose on the rebound. He had 18. And Stacey Castle getting it to Rogers, who also had 13 boards, and Wake Forest pulls away. He's the ACC's leading scorer and racked it up again, guarded by